Affordable housing is a critical issue in the city for many people, particularly people with disabilities. Some are still paying market rental rates or live in substandard and often unsafe housing to help make ends meet. The waiting list for affordable housing is very long, especially for people with disabilities and their families, who often wait longer than 10 years. What is your solution to this?
Well, you can take a look at the authored report by myself, Housing Opportunities Toronto, that the City Council's already adopted. It's the blueprint that talks directly about the need for affordable housing in this city. I have recognized the issues at hand and recognized the fact that those with disabilities are a priority. The City Council now is obligated to make sure that we build in this city to make sure that people with disabilities get housed, as well as seniors and children. The other part of this equation is that what's unacceptable is there's 70,000 people waiting on a list for housing, including children. And my solution is a tower renewal project, which very quickly, if you work with the private sector that own these towers in the suburbs primarily, we can very quickly make sure that an agreement is put in place with them that houses those 70,000 people. This plan of mine can actually house the 70,000 people very quickly within a 2 or 3 year period.
Okay, let's go to Rob Ford next.
We must subsidize the rent. There's over 40,000 empty units, basement apartments, above retail stores, empty private buildings, apartment buildings. When you drive along the road, you see bachelor, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. The private landlords in the city are begging for people to move in. The low interest rates, people are buying condos now, they're not renting. So what we have to do is subsidize the rent, and that will clean up the waiting list dramatically. If you look at the money being wasted, $250,000 per bed. We just built a shelter down on Peter Street. Cost over $11 million for a 40-bed shelter. Ladies and gentlemen, you do the math, that's $250,000 per bed. You could buy a brand new condo for that. It's ridiculous. And again, this is where I'm saying the money is being squandered at City Hall. There's no accountability for it. We spent $150 million on shelter support and housing 10 years ago when I first got elected. Now we're spending $250 million. I ask you, are the people getting housed?
Thank you, Mr. Ford.
No, they're not.
Sarah Thomson?
I want to unlock opportunities to ensure that our citizens have choices. My administration will create a portable rental subsidy that will give more choice for those needing affordable housing in Toronto. By restructuring, and I have a way to pay for it as well, by restructuring Toronto Community Housing Corporation and Toronto Housing and reorganizing the delivery of services to enable more non-profit organizations to fulfill key roles, we will find significant savings that can go directly to the creation of a portable rental subsidy. And families who have children with disabilities will have more choice open to them. My administration will work with people, will work with organizations to make a stronger Toronto, to give more choice, and to allow people to live where they want to live.
George Smitherman.
Well, I think that, we had a good debate a few months back that's sponsored by Habitat for Humanity. And for me, at least, the conclusion was, because a lot of us had different ideas and some of us had similar ideas, that there is no one singular solution to address the crisis of social or affordable housing. First and foremost, when you're targeting this discussion or having this conversation with communities of people who are struggling with disability, the rates of unemployment in this community, if they can be addressed or if some progress is made, is the surest way to make progress for people finding housing options. But beyond that, I think governments need to continue to make investments in bricks and mortar, and I also think it's incredibly important that the city use more of the tools that it has, like the kind of opportunities it has in the development process to create appropriate housing stock within new buildings. Artscape has done some of this as an example for artists in places perhaps in your ward, Councillor, and I think the city has more power that it can deploy to create more of the units that would be suitably affordable.
Thank you, and Rocco Rossi, you're next.
3 things. One, if we didn't have these Byzantine rules around the group homes, then we could have more options for people. 2, we should be pursuing the work that Councillor Mammoliti and others have led with the Regent Park revitalization and so on, to leverage the value of the land and partner with the private sector to create more stock by by using the value of the land that's in there currently in lower density neighborhoods. Third is the critical thing is to combine not just the housing stock issue, but with many of these people, we need to attach the services. As someone who knows many parents of autistic children, their nightmare is when they die, is not having someone to properly care for the child. So it's not simply the roof over their head. We have to make sure that those services are combined with the housing as well.
That's our time. All right, sixth and final question that had come from the member organization.
Joe.
Oh, excuse me, Joe, did you not get a shot at that one?
Not yet. I'd be pleased to if I'm allowed.
Shame on me.
No.
Forgive me, you're up.
You're not perfect after all. But you come close now. Well, what I want to say, first of all, Council Ford is wrong. There's not enough housing in this city. It's not 40,000 empty spaces. It's less than 8,000, according to Central Mortgage and Housing Corporation. And he's been told this before. I don't know why he keeps on repeating that false information. So that means you have to build it in order for people to be able to occupy it. And it'd be helpful if the national government had a national housing strategy. It does not. You know, as mayor, Joe Pantalone will fight with other cities across the country to make sure we have one. Secondly, as mayor, I will make sure that we do inclusive zoning. In other words, building this new condominiums, let's make sure that a percentage of those units are affordable housing for people in need, including people with disabilities. Thirdly, we've got to make sure that Property Standards Division does its job to make sure that people are not living in substandard accommodations.
Thank you.